All right, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can utilize the ICT 930 turtle soup. So for anybody that's not aware, now this is specifically, this video will be more tailored to futures and stocks. You can use it in stocks as well, because there's a key time with these markets that you'll see turtle soup's fake runs occur. 930 equity bell. 930 equity bell is a key time where you will see fake runs happen. Okay, we see it day in, day out. It repeats. So I was talking about this yesterday with my mentees, and we were anticipating that this NASDAQ was going to have a push up into 930 equity bell. There's a few things you got to consider though whenever we're talking about this. You got to understand where your draw is. Okay, it's not just some little rinky dink, do this one little thing pattern and voila. You got to have a full picture. You got to have the full picture understanding. You got to know where your draw is, etc. Know the market structure, etc. So first things first, what we had identified on this NASDAQ was we had a lot of support on the daily chart. Now the weekly chart, it looks a little bit bearish, but the daily chart right now, we came down, we took out daily sell side, and we filled in this gap. That's a lot of support right there that this thing's coming down into. So we're coming down to a lot of support on the daily chart, and what we saw happen in London is key. Because the thing is, this it was bearish, selling off, consistently putting in lower highs here. But what I saw in London session was this came up. You see this swing high right here where my cursor's pointing? We closed above that. Why is that important? Well, what that tells me is price did not respect that as a level of resistance. It did not want to move lower because, yeah, we did take out the daily sell side. We filled in that gap. We had this strong close right here. And that was like that nail in the coffin telling me, okay, it wants these highs up here now. Because if it's not going to respect this level of resistance and it's reacting off of daily sell side off a gap right now, which is an extremely big level of support, then I can come to the conclusion that it wants to do what likely next. It wants to seek the next liquidity pool. It didn't respect this one, so it's going with the next one. Where's that at? Right here. So I can utilize the higher time frame chart and I can see that, okay, daily sell side, I got a gap being filled, and this higher time frame point of interest, which is resistance, it proved it didn't want to respect that level. So if it's not going to respect that level and I got all this support down here, look up, identify where is your next key liquidity pool at. I have buy side liquidity up here. Look at my cursor, buy side liquidity up here that it's seeking now because it didn't respect this one and I got the support down below, so it's going to want it this next likely. So what happens is this thing is bullish market structure on the lower time frame. It's consistently putting in higher lows, look, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, all the way up into right before equity bell. So what I was telling my mentees when we were talking about this on mic is let it make up its mind. I don't do that prediction crap. I'll leave that to the 90% losing traders. What I was saying was, okay, if this thing can manage to take out this sell side, that's price showing its hand. What do I mean by that? So you see this liquidity. Let me actually go to replay real quick. So what I was saying the other day was if it can manage to sell off here first, because guess what, folks? We've already identified where that draw is. It's right here, these relative equal highs. Because remember, it's reacting off a daily sell side, a daily gap fill, and that 4-hour level that we previously had, which was AKA Asian session highs, it's cleared it. It didn't respect that as resistance. So we don't really got to worry about that now. It's proved to us. Like I let it prove that it did not want to respect that as resistance. So guess what? If it didn't respect that as resistance and we're reacting off all this daily sell side and this daily gap, the next key level of resistance is right here. You don't have anything on that higher time frame whatsoever to hold this thing up until right here. That's the next level. So I can come to the conclusion at that point that that's going to be my draw on liquidity. So I identified the higher time frame draw, and that's so important. That's what so many people don't do because they want that little rinky-dink little pattern. They don't want to do any other work on the higher time frame. I've identified where that is. And now I'm coming into 930. So now we have this time element because we understand 930 is a time where fake runs happen the vast majority of the time, not all the times, but we see it day in, day out. I call it on mic, day in, day out, these moves, these 930 sweeps. And what I was saying was if this can manage to come down here and clean out that 15-minute sell side liquidity pool right there before, that's the key thing, before taking out this, that's probably going to be a 930 turtle soup because you got that draw intact. And what happens is when it does this is it's doing a few things. Yeah, it's going to trip out the trailing stops beneath this because this thing's been consistently putting in higher lows. So we understand there's going to be trailing sell stops beneath this low right here. Okay. And at the same time, I have this buy side sign right here. So it's going to kill two birds with one stone. You see, 930 is the most, it's like at equity bell, this is the most volatile time. That's where the volume's going to be the highest. It's an influx of volume. So, you see this thing like this, it's coming down, right? It's coming down like right out the gate at 930, and I see this thing drop right away. I know likely this is going to be a turtle soup. This is going to be a fake run because like it's on everybody's scanners now. Everybody's scanners, it's popping up. Oh, it's making new lows. This thing is getting fucking crushed. It cleans out the trailing stops from the longs that were previously in it, but at the same time, it's going to be baiting in the opposing shorts above this high because you know what they're going to see? And this goes to like a lot of the people that look for like the ICT shift, right? They're gonna look at this like, oh, look, we got our bearish displacement. Nope, that ain't. You got to consider time. The 930, you got that time element, remember? And it's taken out this 15-minute sell set right here. So it's no longer, that's not something that you should be interested in for a short play. 930 push, but also it's bullish market structure taking out 15-minute sell side right there. I was looking for this thing to ramp up right here because of that 15-minute sell side, because I had that draw up above right there. You see what I mean? We got a very clear draw up above that it's going to want to take. So it comes down, it sweeps that sell side, and then it cleans out the buy side up above. All right. So in conclusion, like when you're looking for these 930 sweeps, because it repeats the vast majority of the time, not all the time, because this isn't a certainty game. As I always tell you guys, it's a probability game. But the probability is you're going to get that fake run. And then the only thing you got to do next is you got to know where the draw is, though. All right. You got to understand where your draw is. And once you can actually understand where the draw is, then you can navigate that little manipulation run successfully. Like there's opportunity in that manipulation at 930, but you got to understand where the overall draw is. If you can, then you can capitalize on it. That's how you do it.